What is going on, Prosperity Practice? I am out here in the wilderness, out here in New Jersey, just kind of taking a little time to reflect, taking a little time to realize just how broad and expansive our world is. We spend, I don't know about you, but most of us spend so much time kind of locked indoors, in a building, in a car, in your office, kitchen, living room, house, neighbors, in a plane, train, but always somewhere inside. And sometimes we forget to go outside, to hear. I love it. I'm out here. We forget to go outside. You hear the crunch of the ground underneath. Hearing the breeze come. Taking a look at just how expansive the world is around us. You look up and the sky is infinite. There is no ceiling. It just keeps going. And I love Zig Ziglar always talks about being the center of the world, right? Because wherever two lines connect, there you are. Smell that? It smells like a skunk somewhere. I hope I don't. I've never ever come up on a skunk den before, but there's always a first time. But today was a kind of a day just to get out and recognize the abundance of the universe. It's funny, maybe I'll share the picture that I took of the map of where I am. I'm surrounded by absolutely nothing except for woods and trees, breeze, little creek. And it's just kind of cool. There's no buildings. There's nothing here. And we don't get out. Maybe you do. I don't get out enough to see this, just to kind of take it all in. You're so used to the hustle and bustle of the city or the town, of our job, and what's the next thing? What's the very next thing? And funny thing is funny thing is how much is it really going to matter? I know this. I'm not saying this for any, kind of bad reason, as it were. And that's kind of a odd phrase, but where I am, in the middle of where I am, are some ruins of a foundry. I think it's a foundry. A place where they used to smelt stuff, and they used to do some metal work and iron works here. Gone. Rubble. It's ruins. I know that what you're doing is important. I know that who you are is important, and there is no doubt, as I recently shared with you, that there's no doubt that there is certainly greatness within you. Everybody, was endowed with the seeds of greatness. But what you leave behind, it's so quickly forgotten in many cases. And again, I don't say this to make you feel like what you're doing isn't big enough or important. It's the idea that just kind of taking what is around you right now and enjoy it for what it is now. You ever watch, kind of those movies where the wind kind of wisps the sands of the image away? And that's what happens. Time just kind of erases what was there before it, and whatever comes next is there. So whatever it is you're into right now, whatever kind of greatness you're involved in, be there with it and realize that if you're in a cubicle, that you're greater than that cubicle. Realize that if you're in a building, you're greater than that building. Realize that if you're inside of anything, you are most certainly greater than that. But I think that the takeaway today is get outside. Maybe reconnect. And maybe I'll just say, I'm just sharing my experiences as kind of we get outside. Part of the prosperity is to recognize just how much is available to you. What's out there? What's around? Have you limited yourself, even if it's just for a small bit, to ideas on a computer, in a building, in an office? As they say, all the great ones say, everybody says, you can't, if you don't change your surroundings, if you don't change what you see, if you don't change the thoughts that you have, you're going to continue to get the same results. You're going to continue. So if you have a routine in your daily life, and again, if you get outside or if, you go to and from work and your daily routine, it's not varied, right? You're very, they talk about getting into a rut. And that's fine if that's where if you like where you are and you like the results that you're getting, continue to do what you've been doing. Continue to do what you've always been doing. But if for a moment you recognize that you don't like where you're headed, you don't like what it is that you see. Sorry, I've got a little bit of a breeze here. If you don't like the trajectory that you're on, you certainly have the ability to make that change. You certainly have the ability to make that adjustment. Change it just one day, one thing, one small, minute thing has the ability to redirect your entire life. So does me coming out to this forest today, meditating in the wide open, taking a few moments to be the only person in this square mile radius, I imagine, is that going to change the trajectory of my life? I don't know. But it's definitely changed today. And if you can change today, my guess is you can change tomorrow. So you have that power. That's the greatness within you, right? That's the greatness. Small changes over time leading to greatness. So I'm just going to leave you with that one today. It's not information packed. I think I was inspired to just kind of get outside and walk with nature by the book that I've been reading lately, Creativity in Business. Where you draw your inspiration from can be anything and anywhere. I just encourage you to go somewhere different today, to do something a little bit different today, to go and draw some inspiration from something new today. That is, of course, if you desire change. If you are 100% in love with everything that is about and around you today, continue to do what you've always been doing. Continue to do that, and love that life. Love life no matter what. But that's it, guys. We'll talk to you later.